this quiet moment, a space just for you to unwind. Find a comfortable spot, perhaps letting your shoulders soften, your breath deepen gently. Inhale peace, exhale all that no longer serves you. Allow your mind to settle, like dust motes in a shaft of sunlight, as you listen to a tale of calm curiosity. Tonight, we begin a journey to a place whispered about in ancient lore, yet found only by those who seek true stillness. The Wanderer's Archive. Imagine the gentle click of a latch, a soft chime of bells above a sturdy wooden door. As one steps inside, the chill of the outside world melts away, replaced by an enveloping warmth. The air here carries the faint, comforting scent of aged parchment and dry ink, mingled with a hint of something sweet, like spiced cider. Subtle crackling of a distant hearth before you, a spacious chamber unfolds, its walls lined floor to ceiling with countless shelves. These aren't pristine, uniform rows, but sturdy, dark wood, worn smooth by centuries of gentle touch. Each shelf holds an eclectic array of scrolls, leather-bound tomes, and forgotten journals, their spines muted by time. A soft, amber glow emanates from a few strategically placed lanterns, and a hearth crackling softly in the far corner, casting long, dancing shadows that soothe rather than startle. This is the Wanderer's Archive, a sanctuary of stories, awaiting a quiet exploration. The air in the Wanderer's Archive is soft and still, carrying the faint, comforting scent of aged paper and warm wood. Your gaze drifts past the dancing shadows of the hearth, settling on the towering bookshelves that line the walls, reaching almost impossibly high towards a vaulted, unseen ceiling. Each shelf is a labyrinth of leather-bound tomes, ancient scrolls, and carefully preserved maps, their spines bearing faded titles in forgotten tongues. Some are embossed with symbols that hint at distant realms, while others are plain, their true treasures hidden within. Subtle rustle of paper. You notice a small, sturdy wooden table nestled between two particularly dense sections of shelves. It seems like a favored spot, a quiet retreat within this grand collection. A single, unlit lantern sits upon its polished surface, its glass panes reflecting the soft, reddish glow from the distant fire. Beside it, a stack of worn journals, their covers smooth from countless readings, invites a gentle touch. Perhaps these are the personal records of wanderers long past, their quiet adventures and profound discoveries echoing through these silent halls. A comfortable, high-backed chair, padded with soft, faded velvet, is pulled close to the table. Its presence suggests long hours spent here, immersed in narrative. The light from the hearth doesn't quite reach this particular corner, leaving it in a peaceful, gentle dimness, perfect for contemplation and quiet dreaming. The silence here is profound, broken only by the occasional soft crackle from the fire and the almost imperceptible whisper of air currents moving through the vast space. It's a silence that holds countless untold stories, waiting patiently to be discovered, not rushed. You might imagine the quiet turn of a page, or the gentle unrolling of a map, the only sounds for hours on end in this tranquil refuge. The very air here whispers of knowledge, a silent hum of countless forgotten voices, each bound within the pages and scrolls that line these ancient walls. Beyond the familiar scent of old paper and leather, you might notice a faint, earthy aroma, perhaps from the deep rock of the mountain itself, embracing this haven of wisdom. It's a comforting blend, settling gently around you like a soft, invisible blanket, inviting you to simply be. Imagine now moving deeper into one of the grand reading chambers. Here, sturdy, dark wood tables gleam faintly under the soft, ethereal light, filtering from high, narrow windows, cut into the thick mountain stone. Dust motes dance lazily in these gentle beams, like tiny, golden stars in miniature constellations, drifting without purpose or haste. Each table is perfectly cleared, save for perhaps a single, ornate inkwell or a carefully placed quill, waiting patiently for a scholar who may return tomorrow or 100 years from now. The chairs, heavy and carved, stand ready, inviting quiet contemplation, but never demanding it. Your gaze might drift to the shelves again, not just ordinary books, but perhaps a collection of rolled maps, tied with silken ribbons, hinting at journeys across vast, forgotten lands. Or perhaps, tucked away in a specially carved niche, a display of ancient, illuminated manuscripts, their vellum pages still vibrant with hand-painted gold and rich blues, each an artistic masterpiece from another era. These treasures rest undisturbed, their stories held in patient slumber. The quiet reverence of this place is absolute, inviting nothing but a peaceful observation, a gentle wonder. The air is still, the silence profound, a perfect sanctuary where time itself seems to slow, almost to a stop, allowing your thoughts to gently unfurl and drift. The profound stillness allows a soft, ancient hum to become faintly audible. It's not a sound that breaks the quiet, but rather deepens it, like the gentle pulse of the very air itself. This hum seems to emanate from the very walls, from the smooth, worn stones that make up this hidden chamber. A single, luminous orb, suspended without visible means in the center of the room, casts a warm, buttery light. It's an artifact of soft magic, designed not for power, but for comfort, its glow inviting shadows to stretch long and soft across the floor, never quite reaching the corners, leaving a sense of gentle mystery. You notice the texture of the floor beneath your feet, perhaps a cool, polished stone, or a surprisingly soft, woven rug, absorbing any echoes. There are no harsh edges here, only curves and softened angles, as if the space itself has been shaped by generations of quiet contemplation. Near one wall, a simple, low wooden table holds a single, intricately carved wooden box. Its surface, is smooth from countless touches, its details too fine to discern clearly from a distance, hinting at stories held within. The air here is clean, with a faint, earthy scent, perhaps of dry leaves or old paper, mingled with something subtly sweet, like dried lavender. It's a scent that grounds you, reminding you of ancient forests and long-forgotten knowledge. This place feels like a library without books, a vault of serene memories. The gentle light from the orb paints everything in shades of amber and quiet gold, making the very act of existing here a peaceful endeavor. The world outside, with its quests and its calls, seems incredibly distant, allowing you to simply be asterisk in this moment, in this timeless, quiet space. The air itself seems to hold a gentle hush, a soft, almost imperceptible hum that settles deep within the quiet. There's no need to wonder about its source. It simply exists, a comforting presence that cradles the stillness. Your gaze might drift along the subtle textures of the chamber, perhaps the aged stone of a nearby pillar, worn smooth by forgotten eons, or the polished gleam of a dark wood panel that meets a soft, woven tapestry. Each surface tells its own silent story, not of grand battles or urgent tasks, but of enduring peace. The very particles of dust, catching the ambient light, seem to slow their dance, suspended in this serene pause, reflecting the deep tranquility. Perhaps your eyes settle on a small, recessed alcove, barely noticeable at first, etched subtly into the cool, solid wall. Within it, a faint, rhythmic pulse of light might catch your attention. Not bright or demanding, but like a distant, slow heartbeat emanating from a softly glowing orb. It casts no harsh shadows, only deepening the gentle calm, painting the nearby wall with shifting, warm hues of amber and deep violet. This light seems to breathe with the room, expanding and receding, a quiet breath in the heart of this sanctuary. It whispers of ancient energies, now settled and serene, content to merely exist, guiding nothing, demanding nothing, only offering its tranquil presence. The warmth from it is almost imperceptible, a faint trace in the already comfortable air, a silent anchor in this timeless space. You notice how the light makes the dust motes sparkle gently, like tiny, suspended stars, each one reflecting a piece of this profound quiet, inviting your own thoughts to settle and glow with a similar, soft radiance. The soft radiance of the settling dust motes leads the gaze towards a sturdy, ancient wooden table that rests at the heart of this chamber. Its surface, polished smooth by countless years, reflects the faint ambient glow, hinting at stories etched into its grain rather than carved upon it. Upon this table, a single closed tome lies, its leather cover worn soft, its edges slightly frayed, yet it holds an undeniable aura of forgotten knowledge and quiet power. No hurried hand has opened it in ages. nor disturbed the delicate layer of dust that now rests like a gentle blanket on its spine. Beside it, a slender, unlit candle stands in a simple bronze holder, its wick still awaiting a spark, a silent sentinel to the passage of time. The air here is still, carrying the faint, almost imperceptible scent of old parchment and cool stone, a comforting fragrance that whispers of deep histories and patient waiting. Beyond the table, the chamber recedes into soft shadows, revealing glimpses of tall, arched windows through which only the softest, diffused moonlight dares to enter. They are not grand, stained glass spectacles, but rather plain, ancient panes, suggesting a purpose more focused on contemplation than display. The light that does filter through paints long, sleepy rectangles on the far wall, highlighting faint tapestries woven with forgotten symbols, their colors muted by the passage of centuries. Each thread seems to hold a memory, a fragment of a larger narrative that has settled into the quiet fabric of the room. The silence here is profound, a deep, encompassing calm that invites you to simply be, to let your own thoughts drift and coalesce into soft, peaceful patterns, much like the gentle play of light and shadow in this timeless space. You are simply observing, allowing the stillness to envelop and cradle you. The soft dance of light and shadow continues, weaving patterns across the quiet room. It's a gentle, rhythmic ballet, undisturbed by any rush or urgency. You notice how the faint glow from a nearby lantern casts a warm, golden hue upon the aged wooden floor, highlighting the smooth, worn texture of its surface. Each grain tells a silent story of countless footsteps, of weary travelers finding solace in this haven. A hushed quiet settles, so profound that you might almost hear the slow, soft turning of time itself. The air is still, carrying only the faintest scent of old parchment and a whisper of distant hearth smoke, a comforting aroma that suggests warmth and safety. Your gaze drifts towards a small, sturdy table in a corner, bathed in that same inviting lantern light. Upon its surface rests a single, leather-bound journal, its cover etched with a simple, elegant emblem, perhaps a faded symbol of a forgotten guild or a traveler's personal mark. It lies closed, holding its secrets peacefully within, much like the quiet room holds its own calm history. Beside it, a half-empty mug, still radiating a faint warmth, suggesting a moment paused, not ended. Perhaps a cup of chamomile tea or a soothing herbal brew, left by someone who, like you, found peace here. The pages of the journal seem to hum with untold tales, yet they demand no attention, no immediate deciphering. They simply are, a gentle presence in the periphery of your awareness. The soft contours of the mug, the subtle sheen on the leather binding, all contribute to this tapestry of quiet repose. There is no need to pick it up, no desire to open it, only a quiet appreciation for its steadfast presence. This space, these objects, They simply exist in harmonious, unhurried calm, inviting you to share in their tranquil stillness, allowing your own thoughts to unfurl and settle into a deep, restful peace. Subtle, distant crackle of a dying hearth, the soft, persistent crackle of the hearth, though distant, weaves a gentle rhythm into the profound quiet of the castle. The embers within the great stone fireplace glow with a faint, warm pulse, casting long, dancing shadows that stretch and recede across the ancient flagstone floor. Each ember holds a memory of a roaring fire, now a gentle whisper, slowly cooling, yet still radiating a deep, comforting warmth that seems to linger in the very air of the chamber. Around the hearth, heavy, age-darkened tapestries hang, depicting scenes of forgotten lore, perhaps a peaceful gathering under a moon, or a lone scholar poring over an illuminated text. Their woven threads absorb sound, contributing to the hushed atmosphere, making the quiet even more profound. A gentle breeze, almost imperceptible, stirs a single, ornate curtain near a tall, leaded glass window, revealing just a sliver of the velvet dark night outside. Beyond, the world sleeps under a blanket of stars, utterly still and undisturbed, mirroring the tranquility within these walls. This chamber, with its quiet echoes and patient artifacts, seems to hold time suspended. It is a place of profound rest, where the weight of the day simply lifts and dissipates, leaving only a sense of enduring peace. Following the path of the retreating shadows, a narrow archway beckons quietly, framed by smooth, worn stone. It leads not into bright, bustling halls, but into another layer of stillness, a softly shadowed passage that promises further quiet, perhaps to a small, forgotten library alcove or a silent observation deck. The faint glow filtering from the main chamber spills gently into this new space, suggesting another secluded nook, equally steeped in ancient calm, waiting to offer its own quiet embrace, undisturbed by the hurried world. This secluded nook, a gentle alcove carved from the main chamber's grandeur, reveals itself as a smaller, more intimate study. Here, the air itself seems to hold the quiet whisper of forgotten knowledge and diligent pursuit. A sturdy, dark wooden desk, worn smooth by centuries of scholarly hands, stands at its heart. Upon it, a single oil lamp, its flame a steady, warm amber, casts a soft, inviting glow across stacks of ancient scrolls and unbound, leather-bound volumes. Their pages, yellowed with age, rest open to passages filled with elegant, faded script, waiting patiently for their reader to return. The soft light seems to deepen the rich tones of the wood and the muted colors of the old bindings. A high-backed, comfortable chair, its velvet cushion slightly indented, suggests a recent presence, a scholar perhaps lost in thought, who has just stepped away for a moment, leaving a place warm and ready. Nearby, a carefully rolled map, depicting constellations long since charted and lands now reshaped by time, is tethered with a thin, silken cord. The scent of old parchment and polished wood mingles faintly, a comforting aroma that speaks of quiet dedication and endless curiosity, a gentle invitation to linger. The lamp's glow barely reaches the furthest corners of this small space, allowing soft shadows to deepen and dance along the heavy oak shelves that line the walls, filled to overflowing with more books and curious, small artifacts. Each item seems to hum with a silent story, a fragment of history held in suspended animation, contributing to the tranquil, timeless atmosphere of this serene sanctuary. You might imagine the gentle turning of a page, or the soft scratch of a quill, echoing in the stillness, though only the quiet hum of time passes here now, undisturbed and ever so peaceful. The quiet hum of time continues its gentle melody, like an ancient, well-loved instrument played so softly, you almost feel it more than hear it. You might find yourself drawn deeper into the sanctuary now, perhaps towards a section of shelves where the light seems to filter in a particularly soft way. Here, the air carries a faint, sweet scent of aged paper and dry cedar, a testament to centuries of quiet contemplation. Rows upon rows of bindings, some grand and leather-bound, others delicate scrolls tied with faded ribbons, stand in silent vigil. Each one holds stories, forgotten histories, or observations of worlds long past, waiting patiently for a curious eye. Your gaze might settle on a large, heavy tome, its cover embossed with symbols that whisper of starlight and distant constellations. It lies open on a simple, dark wooden lectern, as if someone just stepped away moments ago, leaving its pages to breathe in the still, pure mountain air. The script within is intricate, hand-drawn maps of the night sky, perhaps, or constellations described in poetic detail. Even if you cannot read the ancient text, the artistry itself is a soothing balm, inviting a deep sense of peace. Around you, the vastness of the mountain library feels less like a building and more like a living, breathing archive, holding the universe in its hushed corners, waiting for you to simply exist within its quiet embrace. The mountain library, indeed, feels less like a building and more like a living, breathing archive, holding the universe in its hushed corners, waiting for you to simply exist within its quiet embrace. You find yourself drawn deeper into its quiet heart, past towering shelves that stretch towards a vaulted timber ceiling. Each aisle hums with an almost imperceptible energy, a silent symphony of forgotten stories and ancient wisdom. The light here is soft, diffused through high, arched windows carved directly into the mountain rock, casting gentle, elongated shadows across polished wooden floors. Dust motes dance lazily in these shafts of light, tiny, shimmering specks suspended in the still air. The scent is a comforting blend of aged parchment, dry cedar, and perhaps a faint, sweet hint of something herbal, like dried wildflowers pressed between pages long ago. You notice a small, recessed alcove tucked away from the main thoroughfare of books, bathed in the softest glow. A plush, worn armchair sits invitingly, its fabric softened by countless hours of quiet contemplation. Beside it, a low, round table holds a single, half-opened tome, its pages a creamy, antique white, patiently awaiting its reader's return. The only sound is the almost silent whisper of the mountain wind outside, a distant, gentle sigh that reminds you of the world beyond, yet leaves you perfectly undisturbed within this sanctuary. This quiet nook offers a perfect pause, a moment to simply absorb the profound stillness that emanates from every surface of this grand, yet incredibly peaceful repository of knowledge. The stillness here isn't empty. It's filled with the quiet hum of countless stories waiting patiently on their shelves. You might notice the soft, almost imperceptible scent of aged paper and polished wood, a comforting fragrance unique to places where knowledge has settled and deepened over centuries. Your gaze might drift now past the deep, comfortable armchair you found to a section of the library where the walls are lined not just with books, but with intricate, meticulously crafted miniature models. These aren't toys, but rather scaled replicas of ancient ruins, forgotten fortresses, and mythical landscapes, perhaps even the very mountain range that shelters this library. Each model is a tiny world in itself, preserved under glass domes, their delicate details catching the soft, ambient glow of the magical lanterns. You can almost imagine the tiny adventurers who might have once explored these miniature realms, their journeys echoing faintly through the quiet air. One particularly captivating model depicts a winding river valley, cutting through towering peaks, leading to a hidden temple entrance. The tiny trees are sculpted from dark, mossy jade, and the temple itself, no larger than your thumb, shimmers with a faint, iridescent light, hinting at secrets held within. It feels like looking into a forgotten quest log, a moment frozen in time, offering a gentle invitation to explore without ever having to move. The soft light glides over the miniature peaks, casting long, peaceful shadows across the tiny, carved paths, inviting your mind to wander softly through these imagined landscapes. Safe and warm within the library's embrace, the soft light continues to dapple the miniature peaks, painting long, peaceful shadows that stretch across the tiny, carved paths. Your gaze lingers for a moment longer on these imagined landscapes, feeling the gentle invitation for your mind to wander. Then, softly, your attention drifts further into the heart of this mountain library. Faint rustle of pages, distant. The air here carries the faint, comforting scent of aged paper and polished wood, a testament to centuries of quiet study and untold stories held within these walls. Your eyes trace the towering shelves that reach high, almost touching the vaulted ceiling, each one a silent guardian of knowledge. Row upon row, stretching into the soft, ambient glow, they form narrow canyons of wisdom, inviting a slow, unhurried exploration. You might notice the subtle variations in the wood of the shelves, some dark and rich with age, others lighter, perhaps newer additions, each telling its own quiet story of time past. As your eyes gently follow the lines of books, you might spot a small, intricately carved wooden ladder, leaning patiently against one of the taller sections. It seems to wait, ready for someone to ascend and retrieve a forgotten tome from its slumber. The rungs are smooth from countless hands, yet the wood grain remains visible, a silent record of every quiet ascent and descent. A faint, almost imperceptible hum fills the space, a blend of the library's ancient energy and the gentle whisper of the wind just beyond the thick stone walls. It's a sound that cradles the stillness, making the quiet feel even deeper, even more complete. This vast collection, nestled high among the peaks, feels like a warm, protective embrace, a haven where thoughts can unfold and settle, much like the dust motes dancing lazily in the slanting light. Each one a tiny world in itself. Dust motes, tiny specks of stories and forgotten moments, continue their slow, graceful ballet in the golden shafts of light. This ancient library, perched high among the peaks, feels like a warm, protective embrace, a haven where thoughts can unfold and settle, much like the dust motes dancing lazily in the slanting light, each one a tiny world in itself. Beyond the main shelves, where the tallest tomes stand guard, a gentle pathway opens into a quieter recess. Here, the light is softer still, filtered through a large, arched window that overlooks a distant, mist-shrouded valley. The window pane, perhaps centuries old, is slightly wavy, distorting the world outside into a painterly, dreamlike scene. You can almost feel the cool, smooth stone of the windowsill beneath your fingertips, a perfect surface for quiet contemplation. On this sill, a single, unlit lantern sits, its polished brass dull from long rest, waiting for the dusk to deepen. Beside it, a small, leather-bound volume lies open, face down, as if its reader had just stepped away for a moment, promising to return. Its pages are yellowed with age, perhaps filled with tales of bygone heroes or maps to forgotten realms. The faint scent of old paper and dried ink mingles with the clean, crisp air that seems to drift in from the mountain outside, a scent of pine and distant snow. The air here is still, carrying only the faintest whisper of the wind against the sturdy walls. It's a space designed for peaceful solitude, where the weight of the world lifts, replaced by the gentle pull of narrative and imagination. The soft glow from the main hall doesn't quite reach this far, leaving this nook in a comforting, subtle shadow, perfect for drifting. The subtle shadow in this cozy nook cradles you gently, a quiet embrace after the day's journey. The warmth from the hearth, though unseen from this precise angle, still radiates a comforting presence, chasing away any lingering chill. Here, amidst the ancient tomes, time itself seems to slow, each page a whispered secret from long ago. You can almost feel the stories resting within their bindings, waiting patiently, never demanding, only offering. Perhaps a soft breeze just barely stirs the air, carrying the faint, earthy scent of old paper and polished wood. No sudden movements, no sharp sounds, just a deep, abiding stillness. Your gaze might drift to the spines of the books closest to you, their titles worn smooth by countless hands that sought wisdom or wonder in these very pages. Some are bound in dark leather, others in cloth, each bearing the marks of a journey far older than your own. Beyond the immediate quiet of the nook, the main hall remains a soft presence, a distant glow that promises nothing but peace. This corner, however, is your own sanctuary. A single, small, ornate lamp on a nearby polished wooden table casts a soft, focused pool of light, illuminating a particular open book. Its pages are yellowed, filled with intricate, hand-drawn maps of forgotten lands, their coastlines traced with delicate care. You don't need to decipher the legends, the beauty of the lines, the imagined journeys they represent are enough. It's a map, not of a place to be found, but of a feeling to be savored, the quiet anticipation of discovery, forever suspended. The soft rustle of the pages, if you were to turn one, would be the only sound to break this serene silence. Soft pages rustling, distant crackle of fire. The soft rustle of the pages, if you were to turn one, would be the only sound to break this serene silence. Soft pages rustling, distant crackle of fire, but there is no need to disturb them. Instead, your gaze might drift away from the towering shelves, past the quiet rows of forgotten knowledge, towards a low, comfortable armchair nestled in a small alcove. It is upholstered in a deep, rich velvet, worn smooth by countless hours of quiet contemplation. A thick, woven blanket, perhaps a relic from an elder's chamber, is draped over its arm, inviting warmth. Beside this inviting seat, a small, polished wooden table stands, its surface reflecting the soft, diffused light from a nearby lamp. The lamp itself is a study in quiet elegance, its base crafted from dark, ancient metal, and its shade made of aged parchment, casting a gentle amber glow. On the table, a single, open book rests, its spine uncracked, suggesting it has been cared for through ages. Its pages are filled with graceful script, too delicate to decipher from this distance, yet undeniably holding secrets and stories. The air here feels still and protected, as if the very walls absorb any hint of unrest. The only movement is the occasional flicker of light across the velvety fabric of the chair, or the slow, almost imperceptible drift of dust motes caught in the lamp's soft illumination. It is a space designed for quiet immersion, a haven within a haven, where the weight of the world outside simply fades away, leaving only the peaceful presence of old tales and soft light. You can almost feel the gentle hum of forgotten stories, whispering through the very fibers of the room, inviting you to simply be. Faint hum, soft lamp glow. The faint hum continues, a gentle, almost musical vibration that seems to come from the very air around you, a silent symphony of centuries of quiet thought. It's a sound that doesn't demand attention, but rather cradles it, inviting you deeper into the hushed embrace of the library of whispers. Your gaze drifts past the soft glow of the lamp, across rows upon rows of ancient tomes. Each spine, weathered by time and touch, holds secrets untold, knowledge waiting patiently for a curious mind. Some are bound in dark, rich leather, others in simpler, rough-spun cloth, all arranged with a quiet dignity upon sturdy wooden shelves that stretch towards the high, vaulted ceiling. Dust motes dance lazily in the lamp's golden light, tiny specks of the past suspended in the present, performing a slow, silent ballet. The air here is still and cool, carrying the faint, comforting scent of aged paper and dry ink, a fragrance that speaks of countless hours spent in quiet contemplation. You might notice a plush, oversized armchair nestled in a shadowed corner, its fabric worn smooth with age, hinting at many peaceful nights spent lost within these pages. A small, intricately carved wooden table sits beside it, perhaps holding a half-finished cup of herbal tea, now long cooled, but still exuding a faint, comforting aroma. It's a place designed for stillness, for reflection, for the quiet discovery that only slumber can truly reveal. Each book, each shelf, each corner of this room seems to breathe with a history that is both vast and personal, inviting you to simply rest and listen to the soft, unending current of its quiet lore, letting its gentle rhythm guide your thoughts. Faint hum, soft lamp glow, the whisper of the world's stories continues to unfold, not just on the grand, unfinished map, but in the quiet corners of this ancient study. Your gaze might drift now to a smaller, more intimate space, a sturdy oak desk tucked near a tall, arched window. On its polished surface, a collection of delicate brass instruments lies still. A slender compass, its needle resting perfectly north, a tiny, gleaming protractor, and a series of finely tipped pens, their points waiting patiently for the next stroke. Each tool, honed by years of careful use, holds a silent history of precision and discovery. Soft, almost imperceptible rustle of parchment beside these tools. Several tightly rolled parchment scrolls are bound with thin, faded ribbons, each one a miniature journey waiting to be unfurled. Perhaps they contain star charts, mapping constellations long since renamed, or perhaps they detail the hidden paths of a mountain range, too intricate for the larger, overarching map. A heavy, brass-bound magnifying glass rests nearby, its polished glass catching the gentle lamplight, distorting and enlarging the faint lines of an unseen map beneath it, hinting at untold layers of detail. The air here feels thick with focused concentration, a quiet dedication to precision. You can almost feel the phantom touch of a steady hand carefully drafting borders and inscribing names onto these ancient, fragile surfaces. The scent of old parchment and the faint, sweet smell of beeswax from the polished wood mingle gently, creating an aroma of quiet industry. Each scroll, each instrument, tells a fragment of a larger tale, a painstaking quest to chart the unchartable, to understand the world's quiet rhythms. The study breathes with these silent narratives, inviting you to simply observe, to feel the quiet weight of time and exploration settling gently around you, easing you into a deep and peaceful calm. The study breathes with these silent narratives, inviting you to simply observe, to feel the quiet weight of time and exploration settling gently around you, easing you into a deep and peaceful calm. Soft, almost imperceptible hum of ancient mechanisms as your gaze drifts through the hushed expanse. It might settle upon a quieter corner, perhaps one filled not with books, but with the weathered tools of discovery. Here, nestled among rolled charts and leather-bound logs, rests a collection of ancient navigational instruments. A brass astrolabe, its surface softened by centuries of handling, catches the faint, ethereal glow from the high windows, reflecting it back as a warm, subdued shimmer. Nearby, a polished, wooden sextant lies open, its tiny glass prisms hinting at distant stars and unknown horizons. Each instrument tells a wordless tale of journeys taken, of winds charted, and of patient observations under vast, star-pricked skies. The delicate gears of a celestial globe remain perfectly still, their intricate paths mirroring the grand, slow dance of constellations. You can almost hear the soft creak of a ship's timber, or the quiet rustle of a map unfolding under a lantern's beam, though only the gentle silence of the study truly fills the air. These are the artifacts of those who sought to understand the world, to chart its mysteries, and to bring its distant wonders home, not with haste, but with diligent, thoughtful care. Their quiet presence now encourages the same gentle introspection, a peaceful drifting through the echoes of discovery. The air around them holds a scent of aged wood, dry parchment, and a faint, almost metallic tang of distant seas. All of it blending into a tranquil tapestry, inviting your mind to wander softly, without need for destination. Just quiet exploration, the whispers of the dry parchment, and that faint, almost metallic tang of distant seas, now gently recede. They blend into a tranquil tapestry, inviting your mind to wander softly, without need for destination, just quiet exploration. The last glow of the lamp across the old wooden table softens further, casting longer, friendly shadows that dance with the dust motes in the still air. Each shadow seems to hum a lullaby of forgotten voyages and legendary lands, not as an invitation to begin anew, but as a comforting memory of journeys completed and stories safely tucked away. The air itself feels soft and still, carrying only the faintest scent of old paper and quiet contentment. The weight of the day, like a heavy traveling cloak, is now gently slipped from your shoulders, settling on the floor beside you. The world outside this quiet sanctuary begins to dim and quieten, becoming a distant echo softened by the thick walls and the passage of ages. The rustle of pages, the soft creak of the ancient chair, even your own gentle breathing, become part of the fading symphony of stillness. There is nothing left to seek, no mysteries to unravel tonight, no urgent paths to follow. Only the deep, peaceful hush that settles over everything, promising a profound and well-deserved rest. Your mind, too, can now settle, like dust motes gently descending onto a polished surface. Allow your eyes to grow heavy, your thoughts to unspool like thread from a forgotten loom, drifting away on a silent current. This quiet, lore-filled space holds you safe, a true save point where all quests are paused and all efforts rewarded with stillness. Let the soft warmth envelop you, a blanket spun from tales and ancient wisdom, guiding you into a gentle, restorative slumber. Surrender to the deep, silent invitation of sleep, knowing that this cozy corner of the world will remain, waiting patiently, whenever you are ready to venture forth again. For now, simply rest. Let yourself drift deeper and deeper still. Sleep well, and may your dreams be as peaceful as this quiet, ancient room.